Hey guys, so welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be getting into my analysis for what I think will be happening with the SPY ETF and the market as a whole in the coming weeks to months. So if we check at the 3 month chart here, we can see that at its highest value, the SPY was worth around $337 to $330 here. Now, in the first drop, when people thought everything was going to be alright, the SPY started costing around 300. So we can see that the stock costing around $281 now is actually very close to its old value, as the market has been very bullish in the last weeks. Now, over the last month, however, we can see that it has recovered over $54, which is actually pretty substantial, as 25% of the value lost has come back into the market. Now, for what reason could this be happening? As we can tell, the Fed has been printing a lot more currency and has been trying to keep the market afloat. In March, they announced that in order to keep the market at its good value, they're going to be printing more bills and they're going to be floating a lot of businesses, small business loans, as well as what they did with Wells Fargo and JP Morgan, as we saw that they were setting over $4 billion apart for defaulting on loans and stuff of that nature. So the market reacted positively off this news. However, we can see that in the last few weeks, the market has been up, down, and up and down on an endless cycle and hasn't really been trending strongly upwards as it has been in the past few weeks. Now, what can we tell from what we saw today? Now, today's price action was actually very down and we hit a peak. However, we sold off very quickly after that towards the last hours of the day, and now the price action is trading sideways for the whole rest of the after hours. Now, this Tuesday is usually a very up day, and as we can see here, we didn't fall to the 280 level, which would mean that we hit a strong resistance of the market, and instead we're trading at up to here at the 885 level. However, as you can see here, we did have a negative price action towards the end of the day and in the last 2 days. So in the short run, I think that the SPY will be able to recover around $2 or $3 more. However, coming into Wednesday and Friday of this week, I feel that we'll start to see the sell-off that a lot of the bears of the market are expecting to see. So what stocks have actually been winning under these conditions? As you can guess, a lot of the biotech stocks are actually winning under these conditions. If we take a look here at Novartis, we can see that they were worth around $98 before the crash, crashed all the way to $70, and then at their peak right now, after today's good news of Governor Andrew Cuomo announcing that that there's preliminary tests now starting for this drug that the company offers, Novartis has grown over to $90 and on some very positive price action in the last few weeks, as you can see here. So what does this mean for the stock? I feel that within the next month or two, if the trials are successful and they are able to release the hydro drug, then they will be able to come over the $100 price target here and actually reach new highs in the next month or 2 months. However, usually those approvals take a very long time and there's no honest way to guess what will happen on this stock. So if I were y'all, I would wait until the market sells off all the way back to this price here of $85 and then buy in, as you know you're getting a discount because the market has already priced in this good news today. Additionally, we can take another look at this stock, Moderna. So they're responsible partly for producing the tests that identify who has coronavirus. Now, as you can see here in the last month, they're up over $25 on the good news. Additionally, in the last week, they're actually up over $20. So this is the majority of the price action we've been able to see with this stock. Now, in the coming future, I would assume that the stock is going to be increasing more. As we saw with NVS, they were able to increase all the way up to their old price before the crash. However, Moderna is way higher than how they were before. So we can see that they're actually at a very high price and they're shattering new records instead of simply retracing what they already had gained. Now, another stock that we can take a look here is Abbott. Now, Abbott has been trending very positively off the news that their 15-minute tests have been largely successful and are actually very sought out for by local governments and the federal government, starting the testing of everyone in order to allow people to release and start their jobs again and leave the quarantine. So if we look at here in the last month, they've gained over $35 of value, and today they were hitting new highs. As we can see here, before the crash they were only worth around $80, fell to a price of $60, and now are worth over $100. So I feel that in the coming weeks, they can be worth all the way up to $110 to $120. However, I feel that this positive price action is actually very strong and might start being overbought. If we look at their share of their options here, we can see that in the last day they've gained over $50 to $100. So this is a very strong price action for a stock that otherwise before the crash wasn't worth even $70. And if we look at their contracts here going all the way out to November, which is probably after the crash will be over and after the summer, we can see that they're already gaining $60 to $110, so exactly the same as the weeklies are gaining. So there's not a lot of doubt that this crisis will recover very soon, as these are gaining the same price as the ones that are out months and months of time. So what would I recommend to do in order to gain money in such an unstable market? I would look at a company like NVS and I would wait, like I said, for the market to retrace a little bit backwards over in the next week or so. And once the market retraces to around the 275, 280 level, I would buy in again and bet upwards, as there are tons of bulls in this market, and you will have a large chance of making a profit on the upside and not the downside. Good luck trading.